Morning, everybody. How are you doing? Uh, I find that some new skills are being brought online by lots of you. I've been ringing many of you up, and many of you said, yes, I've got the husband out the back garden doing a bit of this, doing a bit of that, got to keep them busy. Myself, like many vicars, we're finding new skills as well. Video editing is one of the things I've spent a bit of time doing. So the reading for today is actually going to be on the screen. You'll be able to see that. And the song at the end I normally give you, I've been able to bolt that on as well. Also, a lot of virtual meetings been going on as clergy. And so I'm thinking maybe I'll set up a virtual coffee morning. We can all gather with a cup of tea, just have a chat, because we're not going to be together again for a little while by the sounds of. We are here today looking at the third Sunday of Easter, Sunday the 26th of April 2020, and it's the road to Emmaus. That's from Luke 24:13 to 35. Let me read to you that bit of Luke, and then I'll give you my thought for the week. Now, that same day, two of them were going to a village called Emmaus, about 7 miles from Jerusalem. They were talking with each other about everything that had happened. As they talked and discussed these things with each other, Jesus himself came up and walked along with them, but they were kept from recognizing him. He asked them, "What are you discussing together as you walk along?" They stood still, their faces downcast. One of them, named Cleopas, asked him, "Are you the only one visiting Jerusalem who does not know the things that have happened there in these days?" "What things?" he asked. "About Jesus of Nazareth," they replied. "He was a prophet, powerful in word and deed before God and all the people. The chief priests and our rulers handed him over to be sentenced to death, and they crucified him. But we had hoped that he was the one who was going to redeem Israel. And what is more, it is the third day since all this took place. In addition, some of our women amazed us. They went to the tomb early this morning, but didn't find his body. They came and told us they'd seen a vision of angels who said he was alive. Then some of our companions went to the tomb and found it just as the women had said, but they did not see Jesus." He said to them, "How foolish you are, and how slow to believe all that the prophets have spoken. Did the Messiah not have to suffer these things and then enter his glory?" And beginning with Moses and all the prophets, he explained to them what was said in the scriptures concerning himself. As they approached the village to which they were going, Jesus continued on as if he were going farther. But they urged him strongly, "Stay with us, for it is nearly evening. The day is almost over." So he went in to stay with them. When he was at the table with them, he took bread, gave thanks, broke it, and began to give it to them. Then their eyes were open, and they recognized him, and he disappeared from their sight. They asked each other, "Were not our hearts burning within us while he talked with us on the road and opened the scriptures to us?" They got up and returned at once to Jerusalem. There they found the 11 and those with them assembled together, and saying, "It is true, the Lord has risen and has appeared to Simon." Then the two told what had happened on the way and how Jesus was recognized by them when he broke the bread. The road to Emmaus, then. Let's have a little think about that. It was a Wednesday morning in Llantrisant, and the midweek communion service was over. I was tidying up, and I noticed a chap wearing a red and black lumberjack shirt sat in the pew just by the door. "I'm sorry," I said. "The service is over, but you can stay here for a bit if you want as I tidy up the church." "That's fine," he said. "I'm waiting for some wood to be delivered." I tootled about for 10 minutes and then went over for a chat. He actually initiated the chat, asking me how long I'd been there and how I was finding it being a priest. I said it as it was. There were some lovely people, but also there were some who were sent by God to help me to learn to love everybody, regardless. The chap had a beard and a warm smile, He praised me for my efforts and was really encouraging, saying, "I'm sure you're doing an excellent job." Then he got up, we said our goodbyes, and he was gone. It just felt odd. I had expected a harrowing story from a needy person who was seeking out solace in God's house, and I ended up being questioned and listened to and encouraged. And then I wondered if he was actually an angel sent by God as a surprise. I ran outside to catch up with him, but he was nowhere to be found. He couldn't have gone far up any of the long church paths, but I couldn't find him anywhere. And then I wondered again, this time about the lumberjack shirt and the waiting for wood, and pondered if it was actually not Jesus, the eternal carpenter, who'd popped in to say hello. It sounds crazy, doesn't it? But my thinking was based on two premises. The first was the Christian lady I talked about last time, Hope. She was in our church. She'd written a book about angels and was there giving us a talk about it. She'd felt God nudge her to investigate the subject of angels, and she found hundreds and hundreds of people who had seen them. The typical big white 10-footers, and also people who'd received help just when they needed it by a passing stranger. The book is called Angels, funnily enough, and it's written by Hope Price. Just Google it. The second premise was the gospel reading that we've just heard. That first Easter day, as we now call it, two of the chaps from Jesus' team will go into a local village when a stranger joins them, and they get into a three-way conversation about what has been going on. Actually, it turns into a sermon by the stranger and listening by the two. Now, despite this odd setup, the two listened, and when they got to their destination, they could see the stranger waiting to continue on, and they invited him into their abode. Then he broke bread with them. They recognized it was Jesus, and then he promptly ignored the laws of physics again and vanished into thin air. It can seem absolutely absurd that they would not have recognized him during the conversation, or at least before the breaking of the bread. But I know from experience, sometimes it's not until a while after you look around and wonder if the situation you're in has not been orchestrated by God, or even if you've actually had an audience with Jesus himself. We are children of the King of the universe, who is the living God, and I am therefore convinced that sometimes this living God sends his helpers to help, and sometimes he even pops in to see how things are going. In any situation, he has promised he's not far away and will walk with us until the end of time. And as such, I honestly believe, crazy as it sounds, I honestly believe that sometimes that means a personal appearance from him. Some questions for you to ponder with regards to everything that we thought about. Here's the first one. What do you make of the reaction of the two? Similar to last week's question, but the two people, what do you make to the reaction of those two? What do you make, question two, of Jesus' reaction to the two, the way he dealt with them, the way he was with them? What do you make of Jesus' reaction to the two? Number three, have you ever had somebody just happen to be there when you needed help? Have you had somebody just happen to be there just when you needed help? There was somebody to help you. And number four, have you ever actually seen an angel? Have you actually seen an angel? I've never known how to talk about it. There we are, 4 questions. The song I've chosen for today is called Reckless Love by Corey Ashbury. And it talks about, or rather you sing about, the way that God will do anything to get your attention. There's nothing that will stop him from trying to get your attention and to let you know that he's there and that he loves you. Let's round off today with a prayer. So just sit quietly and I will pray for you and for me. Dear God, thank you for the story of a personal intervention by you on the road to Emmaus. Help us to realize that you could pop up at any time, anywhere, as you are the living God and as it's your world that we are living in. Amen. As ever, there is a download to go with this talk, where all the words of this talk are, and there's some colouring and some activities that you can have a go at. For now, I'm going to bolt the song onto the end. You can have a little sing-song. So, till next time, keep safe, everybody. See you soon.
Before I spoke a word, you were singing over me. You have been so, so good to me. Before I took a breath, you breathed your life in me. You have been so, so kind to me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it, and I don't deserve it. Still, you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Yeah. When I was your fault, still your love fought for me. You have been so, so good to me. When I felt no worth, you paid it all for me. You have been so, so kind to me. And oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it, and I don't deserve it. Still, you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you